I think we're live.
Oh,
I think we're live on YouTube at the current moment. Let me see here. Does anyone see? I think we're live on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, we are. Okay.
all right, cool. I was
All
just about
right.
to hit send on this email.
All right.
All right.
We're live. We are live on YouTube only at the moment. Okay, that's good. That's good enough for us.
We're like a car with one tire.
Whatever works right now. Whatever works.
Rolling over
Okay.
here.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here on a very special night. It is Giving Tuesday 2022. It is November 29th, and we are here to raise money for private investigations for the missing. Of course, that is the non-profit that Lance and I are on the board of, and it was founded by Bruce Maitland, who is the father of Brianna Maitland, who is a missing person from Montgomery, Vermont in 2004. And Bruce, the founder of PIs for the Missing, is joining us here on the screen, as is Erin DeRosiers. How are you both doing tonight?
Hey, we're doing great.
Yeah.
Well,
Happy to
thank
be
you.
here.
Thank you for hopping on. We just went through a little bit of technical difficulties, but we were exactly 15 minutes behind, which is not a bad thing. Giving Tuesday started off, I don't know, several years ago, the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. And we've been talking about this idea to have a virtual fundraiser for PIs for the missing. What better day to do it on? So we're looking forward to an evening of special guests, people that are affiliated with the nonprofit, and people who have had their lives impacted by the nonprofit because they've had family members that have gone missing, and they're now working with PIs for the missing in regards to finding out the answers for their missing loved one. But Erin, we brought Bruce on just to be like, oh my God, we are having technical difficulties. We don't know what to do. Finally, the last pull of the lawnmower engine, and it started, and we're on YouTube right now at least. But Erin, please explain yourself. No, what's your role with PIs for the Missing?
So I kind of like an organizing rock star, if you will. I guess that's kind of how I describe it.
Take it down a notch.
Very well.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Bruce agrees. I don't. Bruce gets to. Yeah. So I was brought on just to help with kind of the behind the scenes organizing of cases, project management, organizing meetings, just kind of keeping everybody on track, making sure that projects are being completed, that follow-ups being done. It's nothing very glamorous, but I do enjoy it. The mission is very important to me. And helping missing people's family is very important to me. I was always a big true crime fan. I don't know if that's the right word, but and the stories are interesting. But at the end of the day, people need help, and families need support. And you need all sorts of people to do that. And that's basically why I'm here.
I gotta say, bravo to you for. You didn't know, like, we just let you in the Zoom, and we're like, there's technical difficulties, and then all of a sudden we're like, we're going live on YouTube, and then it's like, Erin, what do you do? And you just perfectly
Behind the scenes, she fixed it.
And you just went right into what you did. Like, we didn't give you any setup for like, you're gonna be first live. Well done.
This is a very different perspective from me. I've been watching your lives for years, but I've never been on. So this is it's a very interesting perspective. I think I'm doing okay.
I think you're doing great. Yes. Welcome to the show. And Erin, tell us what are our fundraising goals tonight, and where are we at right now?
All right. So the goal is from now until February 3rd, which is National Missing Persons Day, to raise $5,000. Right now, let me open up the fundraiser that we have set up here. We are at $121 raised at the beginning of the night here. So, okay, start at $121, but I think we could do better than that before the evening's over.
That is actually not that bad in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
the night just started. I mean, we had technical difficulties too. I mean, if anyone's confidence was a little shaken, I get it. But hey, I promise you that wasn't our fault. I'm blaming Twitter and Elon Musk. No, just kidding. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, don't.
We'll
Whoa.
we'll figure that out later.
It's
but
definitely
yes,
not PIs for the missing fault.
it's definitely not
No.
PIs
Right.
for the missing's fault. It could
No.
be like an oversight that I made, but I don't think so. I don't know.
You were
Anyway,
sharing your screen. It was,
yeah.
not
Anyway.
an oversight.
$121 raised so far. We are aiming for $5,000. So please, if you're out there listening to this and you can donate, today's the day. This is Giving Tuesday. Please donate if you possibly can. And if you can't donate at today, please at least share. That would be very helpful to us and our mission. We would really greatly appreciate that if you could share. There is a link here. I'm going to put it in the YouTube chat. It's to a PayPal page, and that is the best way to share, to donate.
And if anybody has any questions about where their money is going when they donate to PIs for the missing, to private investigations for the missing, either Aaron or Bruce, one of you, please let the folks who are donating know where this money goes to after it goes to Tim and I for fixing technical issues on our end.
Well, essentially, all the money goes to helping families with missing persons. And there's a behind the scenes work. I mean, in a strict sense, it goes to pay PIs. It goes to pay search engines for a lot of the work that we do that we sometimes don't have a PI on, but we help out where we can. So there's money that is involved in that. There's money involved in keeping a hotline phone line going 24/7 where people can call and leave a message, ask for help. Essentially, I mean, the goal of the organization is to keep the biggest bulk of our funds, moving toward the goal, and not, we're not hosting parties and, junkets to the islands or any of that sort of thing. It's all going where it ought to go. And that's how I envisioned it when I found it, and that's how I continue to do it.
And when did you start putting up everything together in your head and then bringing that to like paper and then saying this is going to actually be a thing that I'm going to commit to?
I mean, it just sort of slowly evolved in the sense of where, I realized that there was a need for it out there. Over the years, it's been a number of years, I've been in contact with different people that have had, missing family members of their own, and just following stories and seeing the stories and realizing that there is just this huge, huge gap between the few people that get publicity and can afford to pay a PI in the event that they can't get enough done through law enforcement. And it's just this whole kind of conglomeration of things. The realization of role in law enforcement kind of evolved over the years of a realistic view of what they can and can't accomplish, even, when they're doing their best. And so it became an idea in my head that I need to get this done and need to do something to be able to make something good come out of, my own daughters going missing. So, and that took, honestly, it probably took a couple of years from the time I kind of had that impetus to do it, realizing that it was going to take me in places that I really wasn't ready to go. And then the PI, Greg and I have been working together for years and years and years. We talked about it a lot. It was kind of a joint impetus over the ideas. We bounced it back and forth. And then I just decided to pull the trigger. There was some reward money put out for my daughter's case that expired. And so I took that and just got the whole ball rolling. Got the 501c set up. Then I started looking around for people that I thought would, because I knew that I couldn't do it alone, and I needed to find good people to be on the board and be able to help me out. And so I took a long time in those choosings too. And choosing you two guys was was a good choice for me among the others.
Ooh, I thought you were going to say a huge mistake.
No.
You mentioned Greg Overacker, and he's in the YouTube chat right now. And a lot of people, especially Shannon, are very concerned about the fact that he never eats anything other than gas station hot dogs when he goes out to talk to people. So maybe a couple of your donated dollars could go to Greg having an actual lunch at some point.
Well, we do pay a PI's expenses when they're out in the field and doing interviews, and that they have to stay overnight. We pay some mileage. We pay an hourly rate that is negotiated between us and the PIs, and we expect the PIs in general do a lot of their at-home research on the case. We provide them with information through our own researchers and through databases that we can look up information and different things like that. So it's all just kind of a work. The PIs that are on board, yes, they have to get paid, but yes, it's sort of a mission for them too. And so we would spring for a little more. I mean, that's a long answer to a short question, and the answer is yes, we would spring for more than a hot dog for Greg.
Yeah,
but he doesn't want anything. Yeah, he doesn't want any more than that. That's what makes him feel comfortable.
I don't think Greg even eats hot dogs. Yes, you can ask him.
What do you think he eats when he submits those receipts and it says like lunch $7.50? I think we all just thought like immediately we went to hot dogs because that's easy. But do you think he's like a convenience store gas station pizza guy, or is he like a maybe ramen noodles?
It's like
turkey. It's somewhere between a convenience store guy and a foodie.
A foodie.
That's Greg right in the middle there. Yeah, I feel like he'd do like one of those like turkey sandwiches that's been sitting there in the little cooler thing.
In the plastic half shell type thing.
Shrink wrap, yeah.
Or the shrink wrap, yeah. He's definitely not like a cold hamburger microwave guy, right? That's
that'd be interesting. Those. You see them, but it's like I've never seen a person once in my life pull one of those out of the package, walk over to a microwave and microwave it in there. So I don't
know. We're not going to get distracted tonight. I'm sorry. That was my fault.
Well, we do have a very tight schedule. We're already running 15 minutes behind because of our technical difficulties that we're officially blaming on Twitter. Bruce and Erin, are you able to return later in the evening?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. And we are at $193 now. So
right.
Okay, now we're talking.
Cooking.
All right, fantastic.
My working too between now and then. I don't know. Just doesn't.
Okay.
We'll take what we can get.
Okay.
Well, your voice is paramount, but we'd love to see you as well. Okay, we are gonna move on and bring on Ellen Marsh of Obsessed with Disappeared now. And all right, let's see here. Oh, I can put people in the waiting room. Oh, I didn't know that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
just shuffle them around like a god. God.
Hey, it's Ellen Marsh. How are you?
Fraud.
Hi guys. Hey, how are you?
It's Ellen Marsh. How are you?
Oh my God, I'm getting this on a repeat.
How are you?
It's Ellen Marsh. How are you?
Oh my God, I'm getting. I can't wait to compliment her sweater.
She's always so nicely dressed.
Okay. I turned
Ellen.
off the YouTube. That fixed it, right?
Oh, okay,
Yes,
yeah.
it did. Yes.
I am the youngest boomer ever. Like, I texted Tim. I was like, "Am I doing this wrong? I know I'm doing something wrong. I'm doing it wrong." Hi guys.
How's it going?
How are you? You guys are amazing. You guys are incredible. You guys are so sweet. You guys use your platform so. You're just inspiring. I adore you. How are you?
Oh my
thank
goodness.
you. Well,
Yeah,
we
adore
love
you as well.
And yeah, we adore you. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We know you're very busy. You do some very popular podcasts. Some of them to do with missing people too, which I love. Can you tell us a little bit about Obsessed with Disappeared?
Sure. So I hosted Obsessed with Disappeared with Patrick Hines originally. And then I don't know what happened. Where did he go? I heard he ran away with the circus or something. And then I've been doing it with one of my dear friends, Joey Taranto. And Patrick and I were always missing people have always just kind of been the thing that just keeps me up at night, but also gave me so much sadness and anxiety. So Patrick and I set to make a light-hearted podcast about missing people, which really scares some people. And we've talked to many, many families. We just had Allie Lowitzer's mom on the show, and she's like, "I really didn't think I was going to like y'all's podcast, but I get what you do." And we kind of, make fun of reenactment actors or, funny investigators to talk about these stories that are hard to talk about. And for people like me that would just turn off the TV, instead of turning off the TV, we give you like a little bit of a reprieve. We give you a little break for a couple seconds and, tell some inappropriate, dirty jokes to get your mind off the sadness every once in a while. We did cover Brianna's case. And, when they talk about the lonely farmhouse, we would just say, why is it so lonely? Maybe that farmhouse is just fine on its own, so, but, still honoring the cases and honoring these stories, and hopefully for people that ordinarily wouldn't kind of listen to them. So it's been an honor. We've done over 100 episodes and we're almost done. We've almost done the entire series. So yeah.
Wow. Congrats. 100 episodes. It feels like this just happened like 2 weeks ago. Like you just started 2 weeks ago.
I know I think we're at like 128, and I think we're on like our last 2 or 3. And we've had some families come on and things like that, because the goal is, you guys know, it's just keeping the names out there, especially for some of the older cases that don't get told as much, so it's been an honor. It's been emotional. It's been sometimes it's hard to find the lightheartedness in these stories, but it really, really has been a deep honor. But yeah.
Well, I think your approach is great. And Lance says that comedy is a great entry point into learning about things. And I think that's a great way to put it. I also love how you and Joey, I think you sell a shirt that says "doesn't light up a room." Is that?
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us about that, because that me and Lance were talking about that, how that's just become a trope that you just can't say anymore.
Yeah. Don't light up a room and don't be a free spirit. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. If every time they say it, I'm like, this is not, no, don't light up a room. Dole a room when you walk in it. Just really try and bring down the room. In fact, That would be better.
But just don't have don't affect the room.
Don't affect. Perfect, Lance. Perfect. Yeah. Keep the room at a homeostasis.
Status.
Yeah.
Status quo.
So we made a t-shirt, that says does not light up rooms, just so, yeah. And, don't lie about me when I'm gone, don't, just tell the truth. So, but yeah, we do. And it is really, really nice when we hear from families, I do a Fred Murray impression, and he just, he loves it. And because sometimes we always say, if you don't laugh, you'll cry, So.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd love if anybody has any issue with the way Obsessed with Disappeared approaches missing person cases, they haven't listened to a single episode.
Yeah.
They haven't gone to the website. They haven't seen that after the comedy introduction, it's all about the advocacy. It's all about the family, and it's all about making sure that people know the names of the people who are missing. And what is it going to do? How are you going to stand out if you're going to have a show that Wikipedia's a disappearance? How is that going to stand out to people? Or you have a show with you and Joey that you walk away from saying, I literally laughed and cried during this. And I'm now I'm looking this up, and now I'm going to the GoFundMe page, and now I'm going to give $20.
Yep. That is generally the response we get from families, because when you do hear comedy next to missing people, that doesn't sound in good taste. But you guys know our hearts, and because it's true. There are things about true crime that I myself, I get really upset. I get really emotional, and we've all been there, and it's hard, and you still want to tell the stories, but sometimes it's hard. And there are a lot of people who experience anxiety around it. So we just take a little pause, and we make fun of ourselves. And you're exactly right. When people say, you're making fun of these things, I'm like, you didn't take your 1-star review and go have a nap and a popsicle, because you didn't listen. So, but yeah, because it's how else. And Bruce is so amazing to start this organization, and exactly what you said in the intro, turning such a tragedy, and there are several people who do that, into advocacy for others. I get chills thinking about it. Because we just had an interview with a parent, and she just said, I never knew. It is a big club, and she hates being a part of it. So. And anything we can do, we always reach out to families. We offer our platform, we offer, because again, social media isn't about taking, pictures of our dinners anymore. It really is about spreading information and getting information out there, and promoting things that you believe in, which is just so great that you guys are doing this. And but one thing you didn't mention, which is, I heard there's a bet involved with this. Are you saving that news for later?
I mean, what better time to bring it up than now, I suppose. It's more like a challenge. A challenge.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, I think it's amazing. So tell them. I'm Timmy. I'm taking your hosting abilities.
No, that's fine. Please.
Yeah. Well, for a while, I was saying that if we could raise enough money, or if we could raise a certain amount of money for the nonprofit, Greg Overacker inspired me, because he said he would shave his head. And I was like, okay, well, if you shave your head, which is a non-permanent thing, you can grow your hair back. I said, I'll get a PIs for the Missing logo tattoo. And I enjoy a good tattoo, just like the next person does. And so yeah, that's my challenge to people. We put it out there a little while ago, and it kind of sounded like a joke, and there was some gray area to the details on it. But if we can raise $5,000 by February 3rd, I will get a PIs for the Missing tattoo, the logo, which is right behind me here. And it's a badass logo.
I would get this.
Really amazing. Did Bruce design? Did he design? It is really, really cool. If I may just pose a question,
please.
I feel like, I'm just throwing this out there, I'm just an ideas person. The person who puts it over the top for 5,000, can they choose where the tattoo goes?
Here are some of the rules.
Okay.
I think we should all be very respectful about this. And I will say you can choose, but we can't do face. I can't, like, a face tattoo. You should.
I was going to vote for somewhere prominent, like somewhere that way, a conversation starter.
I would do the neck. That and one of the caveats would be, it could be that it'll be clearly the logo, but based on where it is on my body, I would have to work with a tattoo person to make it work in that area. Like something on the neck, like the logo itself would look good on an arm, right? Because it's
it's really cool.
But if it's on the neck, a circle won't work. So it'll be a variation of it. Make it work on whatever body part, and no body part that is on sensitive areas. I'm not going to get it. Yeah.
Patrick is not here. He's not going to give you, my old partner, Patrick Hines, is very inappropriate to poor Tim and Lance, who are just trying to do their jobs. I don't know which one he loves more, Lance's blue eyes, or what does he say about you, Tim? I know he says Lancey with the blue eyes. What is it?
I think he says he wants to climb me like a tree.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
love Patrick.
Someone please screen record that. Just screen record that for me. I need to make that a ringtone.
When we were at Obsessed Fest, which is a beautiful event, and I can't wait for the next Obsessed Fest, if nothing else, but to see what outfits you bring to the table next year.
Yes.
Because your outfits were absolutely fire this year.
I was in sweatpants for 2 years. I was like, let's all throw on sequins. Come on. It was that was just such a great event. It was so magical, and I loved how it brought together all the facets of our community, the investigative podcasters, the wrongful conviction podcasters, the Muppet podcasters, such as myself, and just like everyone just.
Whoa, what did you just call yourself?
A Muppet? Yeah. I mean well, Lance, but come on. And I loved that. I loved the people, everyone's just like heart, and my only bummer, I think I was talking to you about this, both of you guys about this, was that we just didn't get to see a lot of each other's panels. We were all doing our own thing, which was great, but there were so many things I wanted to see and I just didn't get to. So,
yeah. A lot going on that weekend. That was amazing. Can't wait for the second one coming up in 2023, October of 2023. That's going to be a blast.
Dallas.
Ellen Marsh, you are fabulous. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I will keep posting about it. And you guys are amazing. And thank you for everything that you guys do for the community, for missing people, for this organization. You guys are just, you're two of the good guys, and I adore you.
Oh, thank you so much. And
thank you very much. Yes.
You said that you were kind of wrapping up, or you're coming to the end of the Disappeared series. You have also got a couple of other shows that are out there now. One that's an amazing show with Rabia Chaudhry. Can you just give a quick plug of that? Because it's an awesome show.
Rabia and I are doing something a little different. We're doing a true crime talk show, and we basically are. There's so many incredible podcasts that really dive into these stories, and we talk about different aspects of them. We don't just kind of like sit and give timelines. It's like when you think of West Memphis 3, Bob's coverage of that is so in depth. So it's called Rabia and Ellen Solve the Case, and it's a talk show, and we talk about some cases that are already solved, but we talk about aspects of them that still bring up questions. And it's really cool because I get to show a little bit more of my passion behind investigating, and Rabia gets to show a little more of her lighthearted side because she's, such a badass. And so it's kind of like where we meet in the middle, and we're just having a blast. And we have a guest every week that kind of represents an everyman of true crime, like talking to your neighbor, someone that isn't ingratiated in it the way that we are. And we kind of come with the facts and we say like, kind of, what do you think? And we talk about it, how people talk, we sit and this is our lives. But the great thing about true crime becoming such an accessible genre is it really does get people talking. And it talks about, we talk about wrongful convictions, and we talk about the importance of elections and prosecution, and, and just how people can get more involved in advocacy, raising money. It's such a bigger picture. So I'm having a blast doing that. And then Joey and I have a new podcast coming out really soon to take over once we're done with Disappeared. So thanks.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Thanks for letting me share, guys.
You do such great
Yes.
work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
You guys.
thank you so much, Ellen.
All right. We'll see you soon. Bye.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Take care.
You as well.
Okay, and now we are going to be joined by a couple of more very special guests. Folks, this is a very memorable night here. Right now, we've got Mr. Brain Scratch himself, John Lorden, entering the Zoom arena with his pal, Jason Watts, who is the friend of Brandon Lawson, who helped lead the search party in 2022 that likely located missing person Brandon Lawson. Welcome, John Lorden and Jason Watts. How are you tonight?
Hey guys. How's it going?
Good. Great.
Doing good. Here I
There
am.
he is.
There's Jason.
How are you guys?
Fantastic.
Doing
You know
great
what?
over here. Yeah, thanks for joining.
The day
yeah, you bet.
absolutely sucked until I saw John Lorden's handsome face and well-groomed hair.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I got ready just for you. I was expecting, once we heard this news about a possible tattoo,
Yep.
I think PayPal might have gone down because I think it just got slammed with donations at that point. We've got to get it to 5,000
love that.
people. Yeah, we have to
Love
get it to
that.
5,000. So join us. Please make those donations. We need to see Lance get tattooed.
And there'll be a full list of parameters, but I'm gonna say I'm not picky. Like I'm really not picky. I'm being kind of obvious. Like obviously don't
picky.
say the tattoo is gonna go on my eyeball. Like
Yeah, it's just a lot of rules, but he's not picky, folks.
I've been pushing for the forehead. We have spoken about this, and I have been pushing for the forehead, but I don't know if that's going.
Well, the way I see it is, okay, let's say someone throws in $1 million and they're like, I'll only do this $1 million if you get the tattoo on the forehead. You know what I say to that? Let's get the million. I can buy some foundation and cover up when needed.
Right. I thought you were going to say, let's get the million and PIFTM will get 15,000 of it. And then everyone will
And
be
I'll
happy.
be long gone.
Yeah, exactly. Lance will retire.
Well, John Lorden, tell us what it is that you do. We're in your domain tonight here on YouTube. Why don't you tell us what it is that you do with your show, Brain Scratch?
Yeah, Brain Scratch originally started looking into unsolved mysteries of all kinds, but it was very soon that that started treading into missing persons cases. And honestly, it was the Brandon Lawson case that was like a gear shift for me, because I did the coverage on it, and all of a sudden I was hearing from Ladessa, his girlfriend of 10 years, and she wanted to speak to me. And I was like, oh man, like this is the end of the YouTube thing. Like this person's going to tell me I completely blew this. I got all the stuff wrong. What am I doing? Treading into their personal life. And it was the exact opposite. She was super thankful, wanted to give me additional information, got Brandon's father on the phone. I hear his kids playing in the background, spoke to his cousin as well. It just, like, all of a sudden I was connected with this family in a way that literally even talking about it now is just giving me chills again. And that pushed me into more missing persons coverage, trying to digitally advocate for these cases, doing kind of like you guys, raising funds where I can, making donations where I can. There's just so many different pieces that need to be helped with missing persons cases. And I kind of found my niche. But then you got people like Jason Watts, who is a critical piece of pushing these things forward. Jason, how did you know Brandon?
I went to high school with Brandon, had a couple of classes with him, saw him in the hallways. He stepped in for me a few times when I was getting smacked around by some of my upperclassmen. But yeah, so when he went missing, I took it upon myself to try to help his family out in any way that I could.
Awesome. And yeah, it was CrimeCon that we first met at. And all of a sudden I'm hearing from this guy, Jason, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm going to find him. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going until I find him. But I understand, Jason, that you had some help along the way there and some people that are now part of private investigations for the missing. You want to share some of that with us?
Yeah, so, I've had the fortunate opportunity to meet a lot of good people in my journey of my advocacy with Brandon's case. Three of them are right here in front of me on this screen, you three. But private investigations for the missing, they really did help out with Brandon's case quite a bit. When it was at the CrimeCon event in 2019 in New Orleans, where I got the opportunity to meet Bruce Mayland. And, we talked a little bit, and he shared, his vision for this nonprofit with me. And it's truly a vision that I share as well, trying to help families of missing persons. But they were kind of starting to get off the ground at that time, just starting to get off the ground. And one of the first things they did for their website was allow me to write a piece for their blog entry on Brandon's case. And it morphed from there when I met one of their private investigators, Lou Barry. He's a retired police chief who is now a private investigator and works for private investigations for the missing. I reached out to him right about the same time we were doing the CrimeCon event in New Orleans. Coincidentally, he had a trip planned to Texas to visit his son, who is stationed down here in the armed forces. And he agreed to meet with me and discuss the case with me. And we've been collaborating with each other ever since. He reached out to law enforcement in Brandon's case and tried to bridge that gap a little bit. He took an active role in, helping me plan the searches and help me come up with the most probable next course of action to take as far as locating Brandon. And he has just been a mentor to me. He's been a friend to me. I've said it a million times. I don't think we would have found Brandon without him.
I've dealt with so many families at this point after covering hundreds of these cases. And the question usually comes up about, should I get a private investigator? A lot of them try to do fundraisers. And, I cover cases that aren't always super well known. And sometimes you'll see that GoFundMe and, it'll get a couple $100 together or something like that. And that they're just not going to be able to reach that goal. So knowing about the mission of private investigations for the missing, it's a very important component that can really help a lot of these people. And we're hearing in Jason's case, like it's invaluable information. It's kind of adding to the tools that advocates and families have for finding their missing loved one. Brandon's story, like, honestly, there needs to be a book written about it because there are so many great lessons to be learned from it. I wouldn't even necessarily think that a PI might be all that helpful in a case where we think that, someone might be lost out in the wilderness somewhere. And here we have a great example of that's not the case at all. PIs can be helpful with their experience, opening doors, the knowledge to know to bridge the gap with law enforcement. I remember the phone call where Jason told me that was part of the game plan, because it was very easy to be critical of law enforcement back in the early days of Brandon's case. And Jason's like, no, we're turning this around and we're starting to see some headway. Like all of a sudden we're starting to get some information from them. They're starting to be more helpful to us. It was just a really big turning point. And I'm just thankful for anyone that helped Jason find the success that they did in Brandon's case, including Cults Crimes and Cabernet, who I see in the chat. What's up, ladies? And that piece, I mean, like I'm telling you, there's so many different aspects of what went right with this case. Ledessa's approach with social media, the community rallying around her in the way that she did, her not getting tripped up on any of the negative talk or the stupid comments. There's just so many things that went right with this.
Explain that a little bit. Her not getting tripped up with any of the talk or comments.
You know, yeah, go ahead, Jason.
Well,
you know better than I do.
She didn't let that negativity slow her down or affect her in a way that would take her focus away from, trying to find Brandon. As we all know, a lot of these cases, they do stir up a lot of negativity. And, I can't say enough to that as well. I mean, I would say 95% of what you see is good, but you have that other 5% that's bad. And you just, I heard something this morning on the radio. Somebody said, don't give your critics any more time than you would give a friend. And so, don't let the negativity slow you down from the goal. I used to get into arguments with people online. I finally stopped giving into that negativity. And I just told myself, look, the day we find him, I will have shut all that, we will have shut all that negativity down right there in that moment. And that's exactly what happened.
You bring up a good point about all of that, because family members do read those YouTube comments and they do take it to heart. And we operate out of this bubble of our recording areas, and we can move on to the next missing person story, but they don't have that luxury to move on to another missing person and let that just roll off their backs. And I think something that doesn't get said often enough is the relationship like Jason, like you have with Ledessa and Brandon's family, his parents, and the fact that you can tell them that. And you can say that to them. This whole private investigations for the missing isn't just about investigating. It's about supporting the families, helping them to get through. And it doesn't take that much effort. And, I think a lot of people are like, I don't know if I can commit to doing something like that. But all it takes is just a, hey, how are you? Don't listen to them. Don't, those people, that's 1 out of 1,000. There's 999 who are supporting you. And the reason why they don't comment is because they know that it brings people down. So I think that's just something that like you do, and we all do. John, Jason, like we do this, and it's just part of the, it's part of the work you've chosen to do. So good work bringing that up.
Yeah, and I just want to thank Tim and Lance and Bruce and your teams behind private investigations for the missing. It's such a good cause. We've done fundraisers before on the channel. I'm actually the person that got it added to YouTube's nonprofit organization list so that you can add it to videos and stuff like that. And speaking of which, while you guys are running this, on every episode of Searchlight that's going to come out until we hit National Missing Persons Day in February, I'm going to do a mention about this. We're going to add the donation button specifically for private investigations to the missing to all of those videos. And we'll see what the Lorden Arts community can do. I know there's a bunch of you in the chat here, but let's see some of my friends here step up and help out.
Wow.
I can't say enough. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I can't say enough to the importance of this organization and the value that it has and the value that it's going to bring to missing persons cases. There's not a lot of organizations out here that do this. And, I think this organization is going to be paramount in changing things, to get the community to realize that, this is an issue. People are missing in our country, and law enforcement doesn't always have the resources or the time or the manpower to continuously commit to these cases. And that's where private investigations for the missing comes in. I don't know everything the future holds for me, but if at any point I do become a licensed private investigator, absolutely, I will be working for private investigations for the missing and helping Bruce further his vision.
Get ready for some gas station hot dogs.
Greg, if you're still in the chat room, you're going to have to point me out to the good ones.
The good ones.
Greg texted me while we were on this, and he said
He's pissed.
He said, I'm gonna pants you next time I see you. That's what he said.
He said that he said he was going to only pants you. He said he was going to put a plague on me.
If he's planning on
Jeez.
pantsing me, you guys better have your sunglasses because I will blind every one of you.
Oh boy. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us here. And I love that you helped to display how important PIs for the missing is and how important donations are. And that money is going to good use. So again, please donate if you can. We would love to bring Erin back in a few minutes for a quick update on where we're at,
But
because I see the
before-
numbers are moving.
We cannot let it go that, hold on, I had this all set up and now it's
Is that a birthday cake?
a birthday cupcake for you, John.
Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
It's your favorite. It's got this hard chocolate top with what looks like really overly sweet strawberry lettering and
Yes.
a cherry that's got a dent in it. American.
I hope that's a candy cherry. Lance, did you take a bite of my candy cherry?
No,
On
it just fell on the floor.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much,
Happy
man.
birthday.
Wow. Yes. Happy birthday, John Lorden.
Thank you guys so
Donate-
much, man. Appreciate you guys.
Donating his money and his time on his very special day.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, man.
Well, we appreciate
you.
you. Yeah. Thank you both so much for joining us here, and we'll catch up soon. Thanks a lot for spending some time with us here tonight.
Take care,
Love
Jason.
you guys. Y'all take care.
Love you too.
Love you too, bro.
Jason Watts and John Lorden. Thank you very much. Okay, now we are going to bring Erin DeRosiers back on here, and we're going to find out where we're at for the dollar amount.
I feel
All
like
right.
we should be doing a musical number at this point.
Why? Because the do-si-do?
No,
So,
like the
shuffling.
fundraising, like the
Yeah.
no, the fundraising element. I feel like one of us should be like Jerry Lewis.
Okay, well, we're already behind time, so we don't have to, we've already lost.
You don't have-
lost it.
Okay.
Erin, how's it going? Welcome back to the program. Tell us where
Going.
we're at.
So currently we're at $700.
Heyo.
Hey, yeah. So I mean, to get to 1,000 by the end of the night would be really great. I don't know if that's setting my bar too
No.
high, but that's where I think that's where we'd like to be.
Let's get to 1,000. Let's get to 1,000. Greg said, tell some jokes, Lance. No, that's people will take their money away if I start telling jokes. Yeah, let's get to 1,000. Let's offer something if we get to 1,000. I'm gonna offer up this autographed Lorden Arts Seriously Mysterious puzzle. I will autograph it and send it to the person who puts us over 1,000.
All right, you heard it
I
here.
like it. I like it.
Aaron, you're
All
gonna
right.
have to make that happen. So when we get that, you're gonna have to make that happen. You're gonna basically like give me the address and I'll probably just pass it off to you and you can mail it for me.
We
I
can
don't know how
figure that
post
out.
offices work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll figure that
Yeah.
out offline. Okay, we have got a very special person joining us in just a moment here. Her name is Belinda. She is the sister of a missing person named Mike Montijo, and she recently joined us on the Missing podcast. You can hear her there. She joined us with private investigator Lou Barry, and we are bringing Belinda on here today to speak about private investigations for the missing and her brother Mike and how the two have worked together. Belinda, how are you today?
I'm great. How about you?
Doing pretty good. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hold on. It's
There you are.
recording in progress. I was. Oh my gosh! What is that?
It's our musical number for the night.
Sorry, I think you have to hit the mute button there, Belinda.
Okay, are we good? Okay, we're good.
We-
Okay, we're good. Okay, no, I'm
Yes.
still echoing.
Here. The problem I think is there's two Belindas in the chat, so we just need one of them, probably the one that we can see you on. If you can unmute there, I think we should be good. Nope.
No, no, no.
Okay. Mike Montijo was 55 years old when he went missing out of Colleton County, South Carolina. And I hope everyone checks out that episode with Belinda and Lou. Oh, there's Lou. I'm going to let Lou in here. Okay. So, Belinda, there are two of you in there. Are you using two devices? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We can't. Let's see. You unmuted once. If you could try to find that button again. It should look like a microphone button. Lou Barry, welcome to the show. How are you tonight?
There's the culprit.
It's even worse.
Well,
I'm
Belinda,
doing
do you
well.
have
Thank you.
Belinda, do you have the YouTube on? No.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Okay.